Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. The story from the Wankhede Stadium is that the West Indies have defeated, I can't say that because Michael Vaughan will say I have to change that to hammered, because it's a 100-plus run margin. So I must say hammered. The West Indies have hammered Zimbabwe. That's how big the win is. They were put into bat by Zimbabwe, and then Zimbabwe had 20 overs to regret that decision as the West Indies got to 254 on the back of a brilliant knock by Shemron Hetmyer, brilliant knock by Robin Powell. And then when Zimbabwe came into bat, well, things could have actually wrapped up a lot earlier, but Brad Evans decided to not just wake up, but wake everybody else up as well in the stadium. Everybody who was watching hit a few sixes. Lots of fireworks at the end, 43 of 21 for him. So, yeah, they managed to get to 147. But yes, a big, big loss here for Zimbabwe in this group that has them, West Indies, South Africa and India. I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me, Michael Vaughan and Joy Bhattacharjya. Joy, we kind of predicted this, right? We said that there would be a big victory margin even before Zimbabwe started batting. We said it may be three figures. It was three figures, but they were just never in the game. It was just too big a target.
It was too big a target, and the way Zimbabwe played, the way they, as a team, you can't say that I'm going to try and get close. You've got to try and go for it. If you go for it, you're going to lose wickets. The West Indian spinners bowled absolutely beautifully, starting from Akeal Hussain, Gudakesh Motie. They all bowled beautifully, and just it was a target too far. So once you start losing wickets up front, then the only question was that, how much would you lose by? And I thought the margin was less thanks to a hugely wagging tail, thanks to Brad Evans. Yeah, because they were 103 for 9.
Correct. So we thought it would be over. We've been sitting here for about 20 minutes while Brad Evans was hitting sixes to all parts of the ground. But yeah, if we talk about the West Indies bowling, talking about left-arm spin, 7 wickets to spin. 4 to Motie, 3 to Akeal Hussain.
Yeah, 7 for 56 in their 8 overs. Yeah, they've got mystery because they've got variation.
Yeah.
Usually when you talk about mystery spin, it's when they've got the ability to release the ball and spin it either way. These two just a really quality orthodox left-arm spin. Different because Akeal Hussain goes that kind of arm ball, the old-fashioned arm ball, but from nowhere he's got a really good release point, which looks like the orthodox spinning delivery, but it kind of just comes out and it swings back into the right-hander a bit quicker. And then you've got Motie, who always bowls outside of the power play. And from around 6 to 17, his record in the last year or so has been exceptional. He's up there with the best in the middle periods because he's got that nice drop.
Yeah.
And he can deceive the batter into thinking it's there to drive. And we saw it a couple of times today where almost like the right-handers were falling over because they're done by the flight. They go to drop, they're falling on the floor, and then the off stump is just tickled by the ball. So beautiful bowling. The West Indies are a quality outfit. They really are. They know how to play at the Wankhede. They've got the power with the batting, decent in the field, very good tactically, led by Shea Hope. They've got the experience of Jason Holder that can come in at the back end. I'm pretty sure when Shamar Joseph bowls, Jason stands at mid-off. You've got to remember he's the captain himself.
Yeah.
Shea's behind the sticks. I think that's a really clever move by having Jason Holder near the bowlers because he's a smart operator and he'll just be feeding information. They look a very disciplined, strategic team, this West Indies side. They are there to potentially go all the way.
This is, remember, everybody has been saying it's a foregone conclusion that this group will have South Africa and India qualifying. West Indies today, the last few games, they've really
big
put their flag on that mountain.
Yeah, they're making big statements there. And, also I was just looking at Gudakesh. How often do you see 4 dismissals of a left-arm spinner, 3 of them bowled?
Yeah.
Just the kind of variation. And even I think Akeal also got one bowled.
Yep.
Again, beautifully, just deceiving, taking the top off. Those are dream deliveries for left-handers.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good analysis card. And see, what happens to that is that Akeal gives them overs up front and they can decide if Akeal goes for runs, they can always bring in Jason Holder early. So they have ways in which they can move their bowling around. If they need an extra spinner, they can play Royston Chase. They've got that variety. They have that 6.5 bowlers that they can use all the time. And I think it's really, that means that they have a side that's good to play almost anywhere in India. And even in Ahmedabad, maybe they'll take off the extra pacer, they'll go with the extra spinner and Chase.
Yeah, they didn't even, Romari Shepherd didn't bowl today. Right? So they didn't need him.
Didn't bowl. Rodman doesn't bowl out there because he can bowl.
Yeah. The only thing I say about them, and it's a good thing for the West Indies because they've played so well, they've pretty much beaten everyone quite easily. They haven't had a tight game of cricket.
Yeah.
You know, I always think when you get to the back end of World Cups, it's actually handy if you've won a game that's been really tight because you've had the mentality to get over the line. They've played so well, they haven't required that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure whether it's South Africa, whether it's India, whether it's a semi-final, they're not going to win so easily all the time. Very rarely do you see a team just blast their way through a World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see when they get into that situation. It'll be interesting to see when they go away from Mumbai. You know, going to Ahmedabad would be tough to play South Africa. It's pretty much South Africa's home venue. And obviously if they get beaten there, that last game against India in Calcutta is going to be... It's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah, Will. I'll tell you what Darren Sammy said before the tournament. He said that it feels the same. We're going to India and nobody gives us a chance. It feels the same as 2016.
They're very honestly. I've been with them today. They've got a bit of a swagger about them. Not arrogant. Just they are very confident. They've got those combinations that you mentioned that you could add to it. You could. Ball Shepherd, they didn't. They've got more in the tank. I mean, their batting today was exceptional. It's probably near the top of what they can deliver with the batting hand. But I always look at this West Indies thing. I think they've got a bit more to give. I don't think they've given 100% performance yet.
That's so interesting. You say they haven't given 100%. They haven't been tested completely as yet. Darren Sammy said that, and there's a reason because I went around and I checked what was everybody's predictions here at Cricbuzz. Right? Nobody had West Indies in their top 4. Right? I think also because India and South Africa were in this group, and fair enough, going into this tournament, finalists from the previous edition, you always give them a chance ahead of anybody else. But I think that now, not just semi-final, these boys are looking good for all the way. Are they looking good for all the way? Is this bowling looking good for all the way? This batting's always looked that good.
Yeah, you're right. If there are questions going to be asked, it's going to be about the bowling. I think they've converted quite a few people today because if you're going to win in the subcontinent, spinners will play a part.
Yeah.
Spinners are going to play a part. So I think the spinners have proven themselves today. They're fast bowling, really. They play one pure fast bowler, Ford, Joseph, these two, and then as many overs as they want to get out of
Holder, Shepherd, etc. Yeah.
So I think the fast bowling still is not yet truly convincing. Perhaps they have not been truly tested other than Shamar Joseph who looked pretty good in a couple of matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, the batting is already there. The spin is already there. And I think what he's saying is important is there's one beyond batting, bowling, fielding, which is the chemistry of the side.
Yeah.
And the chemistry is certainly there.
Yeah, I like
the
that.
The other thing I'll say is that back end bowling, the death bowling. They haven't had to go to real death bowling under pressure yet.
Yeah.
And Evans had a bit of fun there, and Jason Holder and co. They were just trying to get him out. I'm sure if the game was on, they wouldn't be bowling length. They'd be bowling wide Yorkers, slower balls into the foot, high bounces, slower ball bounces.
Fair.
So the bowling probably hasn't been tested in the last 4 overs, and they will get tested. So let's see if they've got the death bowling to see out a game or get them back into a game if it's not gone quite so well. If the opposition have batted first, it'll be intriguing to see how that death bowling works when a batting unit's in and ready to really strike at the back end.
Teams lost by more than 100 runs, but still there must be some redeeming factors for them out of the game today.
Brad Evans is batting.
Yeah.
I thought, Blessing was decent up front. I thought Kramer was great up front. I thought Musekiwa had one of the most interesting matches. He dropped more catches than he faced balls.
Oops.
He dropped 2 catches and he got out from first ball.
Yeah.
Dropped 2 catches. Took 2 as well. We had to give him credit.
Okay, fine.
Ball followed him in the field. So it's an interesting day all told.
Yeah.
The audience outside the ground had 30 chances to take catches because there were 36 hit.
Correct.
So they had more chances than the fielders.
There was a lot of
it's been an interesting day.
I mean, I'm really thinking that they should have perhaps closed down bits of Marine Drive because I'm sure that there were balls raining on cars.
Those poor couples that are just going out on an evening stroll down Marine Drive and ducking and weaving. Zimbabwe, I said before that their celebration is making it to the Super 8s. And if they can compete a little bit more against India in Chennai, they play India in Chennai, that's right. That's going to be, again, you're looking at players that have played a bit of international cricket, but this is now a step up. It's a step up. Playing at the Wankhede is a great opportunity for the players, and it was a difficult evening for them. But to go to Chennai and play a game of cricket against India, the atmosphere, these players are going to learn so much from playing in that kind of atmosphere.
I would also like to hear about what's happening with Sikandar Raza because, he came out to bat. I hope he's well. because he's really the linchpin of their batting, and though he didn't, he still tried to do some. But I think, finally it was just too little too late. Brad Evans had a little bit of a swish at the end, but yeah.
Just so people who missed that, Sikandar Raza copped a blow on his left hand with a kind of torpedo that was hit by Robin Powell. Sikandar Raza was bowling at the time. I'm surprised that his hand is still on his arm. I thought it was just gone away with the ball, because that's how hard that the ball was hit. But yeah, will Zimbabwe's confidence be hit hard? Now remember, they played 2 games, 2 of the toughest games. You're playing finalists of the previous World Cup. Do you think they can take something from this and go, yeah, listen, we beat Australia, we beat Sri Lanka, we had a bad day today?
Yeah, I mean, they'll take something from it because they've been out there in an incredible venue, playing a high-class team. So you're always gaining, and always kind of gaining from the experience. Even in a bad loss, you can sometimes gain more actually from being hammered, because you understand maybe the way for Zimbabwe to get into the contest is to bat first.
Yeah.
Just maybe they could get a 170, 118. You just never know. I think against these real quality sides now with all the power, if you give them the chance to bat first, they got to remember they won a couple of games in Sri Lanka where the pitches, those lengthy kind of balls that the spinners were bowling in Sri Lanka kind of skidded and gripped a bit more. At the Wankhede, maybe in Chennai, they'll just get dispatched into the stand. So changing your length, changing your kind of approach, but it doesn't mean because you've chased well in Sri Lanka that it's now time to chase in India.
They were
the pitches
chasing all
change.
this 150s, 160s, and Brand Bennett was giving starts for them, and then Sikandar Raza was coming hammering towards the end. It's a different game. These 200 games, 220 games are very different games.
There's only a small few teams who are in the 220 category in this tournament.
Yeah.
There's not many. I wouldn't put Zimbabwe in that kind of... 160 to 180, they're in the contest. As soon as it goes beyond that, I think it's tricky for them.
Yeah. Tricky. Talking about tricky. Look at this points table. And basically we're going to now discuss whether it's tricky for India, the defending champions. Already looking at the faces of Joy and Michael, do not fill me with hope and joy. You got me worried, boys. You got me worried. Talk to me.
There's a differential of 9.150 between West Indies and India on run rate right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be, let's be honest, it's almost impossible to cover in 2 matches unless West Indies really gets hammered by 60, 70 runs by South Africa. Even then it'll be difficult to cross. So what we're really looking at, the most realistic scenario for India to now qualify is they must win both their matches against Zimbabwe and against the West Indies, and they must hope South Africa beat the West Indies.
Yeah, I mean, that's the scenario. India must win against the West Indies and Zimbabwe. That's a given to get them to 4 points. South Africa needs to win against, I think they beat the West Indies and they'll be through because of the net run rate, but you'd think they'll beat Zimbabwe, so they'll take 6 points. Yeah. And if the West Indies beat South Africa, 3 teams tied up 4 points. It would come down to that. That's if India beat, obviously, the West Indies. But I think the whole of Ahmedabad will become South African.
Yeah,
when's the game? How many days have they got to become South African? Generally, it's England that like to take South Africans to play for England, and we need more. For the next few days, you need to grab a few biltong, Borovers, let it rise, take it up to Ahmedabad.
I'm just telling you, I don't think that anybody in Gujarat is eating biltong, but the amount of time that South Africa spent there, they're probably eating dhokla by now. Right? They've been in Ahmedabad for weeks.
Also, I want to reiterate again.
Yeah.
As the host team, to have what you call home ground advantage.
Yeah.
Basically, Ahmedabad has been South Africa's home ground. Calcutta has been West Indies' home ground.
Correct.
So it's interesting that the only people who haven't had real home ground, as it were, is India.
That's because India has to go all around the country spreading joy to all the fans. So that's
all the cricket associations.
Well, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. But yeah, that's the truth. In case those calculations got confusing for you, we'll do them again. The simplest thing is West Indies have to lose their next 2 matches. There you go. If I simplify it, that's it. West Indies lose the next 2 matches, means South Africa it's a 6, and India's at 4, and West Indies is at 2.
India could lose to Zimbabwe.
I'll go again. West Indies need to lose their next 2 matches. India needs to win their next 2 matches. Cool?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, Lord. Have I covered everything? got my lawyers on the line. So anything? Any fine print? Anything?
For the tournament, I hope South Africa beat the West Indies, and then that last game.
Absolutely. For the sake of the tournament, I hope it comes down to
purely for us sitting on the red chairs and a bit of drama.
Because if South Africa, just for scenarios.com, if South Africa beats West Indies, then and India will beat Zimbabwe. Then the last game of this group, which is India versus West Indies in Kolkata, basically becomes a quarterfinal.
It's a virtual quarterfinal, yeah.
It's a quarterfinal because the winner goes to play the semi-final. So for the sake of the tournament, we will do that. I mean, if you ask what are the probabilities of anything, I don't know anymore. Anyone can beat anyone. This game was supposed to be Australia playing Bangladesh. Right?
I'm confused by this event.
You're confused by?
The event.
The event, yeah.
I'm just confused by it.
There's so much happening. This team's not coming.
Certain teams can't play in certain areas. I mean, you go to England's view, Pakistan, I mean, that's all confusing.
Yeah.
Because I was, again, with the West Indies there, and they were, well, if they have to go back to Sri Lanka to play, say a semi, because Pakistan are in Sri Lanka, they have to apply for visas. They haven't got visas to go back to Sri Lanka or to go to Sri Lanka yet. So there's so many complications for the managers of these teams.
It's confusing. It's confusing for everybody, not just for us. But yeah, there's going to be pressure on India. There definitely is for defending champions. I'm just saying, if we're looking at the possibility of India not making it to the semi-finals, because there's a possibility. There is. If West Indies...
I think it's a strong possibility at this stage.
It's not in India's hand. That's the problem. The run rate has made it such that it's not in India's hand.
So it's not just the defeat. So that's the thing that you're saying, right? People must be wondering that, it's just one game lost. What has happened? It's not just the game lost. It's the margin with which the game was lost. And all I will tell you is you don't need to worry and think about net run rate and calculate it. Just think of the IPL, think of the seasons gone by, and how many times your favorite team has just missed qualifying for the playoffs by a whisker, by an absolute fraction, by the skin of their teeth, because of net run rate. And that's what has happened. That 76-run loss has made the net run rate. Well, you look at the table, India's net run rate, and look at West Indies' win today, and you'll do the math pretty easily, right?
9.150 difference.
There you go. You win by 100 runs, you're +5. You lose by 75 runs, you're -3.8. So you can do the math. It's pretty easy to do the math, which means that if India then needs to climb 8 points, they have to beat West Indies by 600 runs in the some such, by almost 200 runs then, if you do the math.
If we go and beat, say, the West Indies, Zimbabwe by the same margin, okay, we get 100. We still make up. We still have to make up the defeat we got against
So you're going to basically beat Zimbabwe by 200 runs.
Or we have to make up that defeat and hope that we make up the next against the West Indies as well. So it's a big one.
Yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, I tell you that much. It's not looking good. But we can't lose hope, right? Indian fans can't lose hope, of course. Hope's what makes the world go round.
No, I mean, it's...
Hope's the one who might lift the World Cup trophy.
Yeah,
if Darren Sammy has his way.
Yeah, I always like going back to the 50-over World Cup, where India were pure throughout the whole tournament, got to the final, Australia had a day out. Just maybe this time. Maybe India will sneak the way through to the semi-final. I think if they sneak the way through to the semi-final, India will win this tournament.
Okay.
It's just this next week, which is tricky.
I like that.
This is a tricky few days. They've got to hope South Africa beat the West Indies. They will beat Zimbabwe. I have no doubt about that. And then it'll come down to that great game on March the 1st in Calcutta.
Okay.
And they've got to make history because no home team has ever won a T20 World Cup.
That's true.
So the hope that I've just given you, the gloom has come from joy. I was trying to give you hope, and then all of a sudden...
All of a sudden, and to think that his name is Joy, to think that he's the dealer of doom today. But it's all right. The fact is that, as Joy says, it's not in India's hands anymore. So you just have to hope and pray that certain results go your way. And just keep watching Cricbuzz Live. Don't do the calculations. We're here to do the calculations for you.
All I'm saying is, for all that's happened so far, it'll be pays for us to be nice to the South Africans. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying out of basic decency, it's good to be nice. But now even more so.
Have you been nice to them recently? I mean, you've got a nice relationship with SA20, with all the teams. So that's quite a nice... I'm just saying, if you've been nice to them, I think you'll be fine. If you've upset South Africa in the last year or so,
in the recent
you
past.
could be in trouble. Okay.
Things have happened
Right, okay.
in the recent past that perhaps have not gone down well with South African fans. I can't say what. I can't say where. But I think this is one of those, if you know, you know.
Caribbean.
You know. Huh?
Caribbean?
No.
No.
You don't know.
No. I thought you meant
I'll send you some social media links.
Okay. I
Then
thought you meant
will
the
know.
last final.
No.
No, okay.
We're talking about very, very recent history. But we'll tell you, because you only got to India yesterday, so that's why you don't know. See, now I've given you a big hint. But anyway, he will know soon enough. But that doesn't matter. All you need to know is that England is playing Pakistan, and that game is happening tomorrow. Of course, it's happening in Sri Lanka. It's happening in Palikelli, which is safe to say not going to be that much of a run fest as today's game was. After yesterday's game. Yes, I just hope there's no rain. Because that's it. I'm done with that. Pakistan's already got the 1 point, right? We can see the points in that group. New Zealand and Pakistan are already split. So I think that takes net run rate out of that group, because the minute you get split points because of rain, net run rate goes out of the window because you got odd even points happening everywhere. But yeah, England is playing Pakistan tomorrow. England favourites going into this, or Pakistan with their... I mean, Pakistan has 5 spinners who they could play, but England's got 4 spinners as well.
Yeah, and also I think Overton and Jofra Archer and Sam Curran are doing a good job on these slower pitches. England have played a lot of cricket at Palikelli recently.
Yeah.
So they know the conditions, they know the pitch.
They just won it, the series.
Correct.
Yeah, I think England are hot favourites tomorrow. I just think the win against Sri Lanka was a big kind of shift in momentum for the team. They kind of stumbled into the Super 8s. They've not played great cricket.
Yeah.
Suddenly they played a little bit better, particularly with the ball. I thought they were exceptional against Sri Lanka. With the bat, they're still a little bit frosty. They need the likes of Butler, Jacob Bethel to kind of get a bit more of a flow at the top of the order. Harry Brook needs to move up one, but that's a long debate about batting lineups. But I think England looked a little bit better against Sri Lanka, and that win against Sri Lanka in a Super 8 should give them the boost. And in recent times, they've had some good games against Pakistan.
We, of course, will look at the teams and discuss changes. England, there'll be no changes. Moving on to Pakistan.
Also, I mean, I'm just waiting. Will Jacks has just won three Man of the Match awards.
Yeah, he's been great.
Seeing how he goes for them.
Would you, and we had this discussion for a very long time yesterday with Michael and Ajinkya, would you move Will Jacks up? Would you move Harry Brook? Harry Brook, you would definitely move up. Would you move Will Jacks up? Because he's coming in at 7 right now.
On current form, yes, I would. I really would. I know England does not do it because they like to set their tactics before. But I think, again, if they've got to compete, say, and they have ambitions of obviously winning this semi-final and going on to India, reaching the semis, reaching India, playing the finals there. If that's the case, I think it'll be nice to see Will Jacks move up one place. I think Brooks is also, batting one position too low.
Well, I just look at the West Indies. You look at their batting lineup. You know, Rovman Powell's in great nick. Shepman Hetmar's in great nick. Rutherford's in great nick. They've got a number
3, 4, 5.
Jason Holder coming down the back end's in great nick.
Yeah.
You kind of look at the England side and say, Will Jacks at 7's in great nick. 120 balls in great nick. I know you need finishers in T20 cricket, but could you move him up 1 if you... Could you move him up to 5?
Move him up where you don't need a finisher. There's nothing stopping you from finishing the game in overs 8 to 14. I'm just saying.
No, like we said yesterday, if you've got players, he's had an IPL 100.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got players
batting at 3, I think.
If you've got players that can get you 100 in T20 cricket, I'd want to see those players in the top 5.
Yeah.
I think England across their squad, I believe Phil Salt can get 100 in T20 cricket, has done. Josh Butler, obviously, when he's in great form. Ben Ducky's not in the team, but I think he can when he's in good form. Harry Brook and Will Jacks. They're the 5 that I see in that batting lineup as we speak, who I think can get hundreds in T20 cricket. I think Jacob at the minute is a work in progress. He's had some nice innings, but I'm not seeing 100 out of him at the minute. I think that'll come. I don't see 100 coming from Tom Banton, but the 5 that I mentioned, I could see 100 coming from those players, and I'd want them in my team.
The Pakistan team, let's have a look at them and see if they'll have any changes. Here it is. Will they still play with 17 spinners, Joy?
Yeah, I think Fakhar Zaman is now settled in. I think that debate has been done. I can't see Shaheen Afridi coming in. Salman Mirza will also stay. Look, the only change that I can really see is if they want in some way to accommodate Abrar Ahmed and throw another spinner, because Abrar actually is the classiest of their spinners.
Yeah.
But they have so many other spinners that they're already using that, they'll have to really find it difficult to fit him in.
Yeah. See it. I'm out of the camera now. Are you on pause as well? Are you playing statue?
I'm playing statue. I like it. I like all the memes. I'll be interested to see what Pakistan team comes out. It's more about, with Pakistan, whatever 11 they pick, it's all about their mentality.
Yeah.
And as we've seen many, many times, if they can get on a buzz, all right, they got 1 point. But I actually thought it was a good 1 point. To get a point against New Zealand, I think Pakistan have won one.
They're ahead of the
Good
game,
point.
yeah.
You know, if you say it rained tomorrow, if Pakistan can come out of tomorrow night's game and they've got 2 points,
And they
they've
say
got
one
Sri
win
Lanka
and they
to
go
come,
through.
I think they'll be delighted. I hope it doesn't rain. I'm not too sure what the forecast is, but they are a team that can arrive on a given day and play. Their gulfs in terms of performance levels are wide.
Yeah.
But we know that they can produce this excellent performance. But also we know that they can come to this side at any moment and just stumble under the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't see England playing worse than they played against Sri Lanka, particularly with the bat in hand. I think England will bat better. And I think that bowling unit that England has now looks like it's well oiled. They look like they know what they're doing. So Pakistan will have to play a great game of cricket tomorrow.
Okay, players to watch out for from each team.
Saibzada Farhan is the only one who's scoring runs for them.
Yeah.
So
Okay, fair enough.
I'd go with him, definitely. And yeah, I still think that for them to win this World Cup, I think Phil Salt has to come to the party more often. Because
Okay.
he's destructive for me up front.
Great, so 2 openers for you.
Yeah, Shaheen Shah. I think that, and I'm going to go Shaheen Shah because you know he is wonderful, particularly in the opening couple of overs. And I'm going to say Butler.
Okay.
And whoever wins that contest
Yeah.
could have a big sway in the game because left arm we saw Madhushankar bowl to Joss Butler the other day, and he didn't really get that foot over to those wide left arm angled deliveries. Shaheen Shah feeder will do it exactly the same with a bit more pace on and a bit more bounce. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that contest.
Okay. Well, we of course will find out who wins tomorrow's game, but we will be here before that at 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So do join us then. You're coming back tomorrow, Michael.
I'll come back, yeah.
You're going to be here. Joy, you're going to be here tomorrow. All 3 of us are going to be here. So we don't.
Brilliant.
So we don't really need to say goodbye then, right?
No,
We don't
absolutely.
need to say goodbye, but we do need to see the joy factor question
We
and then
must
the answer.
congratulate Joy. He won the prediction.
Did you for the power play?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, you did. You got one right.
I sneaked through.
Did you get the
Bullseye? No,
bullseye?
bullseye,
No,
no,
but
bullseye.
you got something. That's
I
good.
just managed to get in.
I was hoping for a last ball 6 there to get me into the game, but it did. Hey, I'm an 11-11. That's good luck, right? It's just serendipity.
I'm like India at the minute.
Where are you? 0? Stop it. Where's Joy? Joy's on 22.72. All right. Murli Karthik with his smug smile is. Do you know he got this picture clicked yesterday? He got a picture clicked yesterday after he figured he had been in the lead for so many days. He was like, oh, the old picture's not smug enough, so let me do another smug. Let me do most people put a mug shot, he put a smug shot. So he
But see, look at the bright side. There wasn't a Thar in the picture.
there was. He sold his Thar apparently. Yeah, he sold his Thar. But yeah, this was right after he ate some spicy food, so it's a shiny scalp right here. All right, the joy factor question and answer coming right up. Let's go.
Yep. For a while, this answer was in danger. It was Gale in 2007, Dilshan in 2009, Raina in 2010. Who was it in 2026?
Oh, it's going to be. Is it the quickest 100 in the tournament?
Not quickest 100. This is the highest scores of the tournament.
Oh, right.
So if you see the highest scores, Yuvraj Samra currently on 110. So the point was that at some point in the evening, we're saying that there's a good chance that the answer might change by the time the West Indies innings is over. Fortunately, it didn't change.
Oh, nicely done. We, of course, got correct answers really quickly. Let's see. The first one was from who? Mrityunjoy. Congratulations to you, my young friend. Mrityunjoy is the winner. Excellent. Well, that's it. That's all we have time for. We got to go. We'll see you at 6:30 tomorrow evening. Michael Vaughan has to go to Cross Maidan, Oval Maidan, see how the kids are playing cricket. Joy, of course, has to go and see 6 other leagues and how they are working, whether they're fine. So I had to take a nap and show up. Easy gig. All right. So from Michael, Joy, and me, Gaurav Kapur, thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live. Good night. See you tomorrow.